there are some new fantastic additions to the hair simulation environment. First is, you'll notice this is a polygon object with subdivision surfaces. We can now control the emission from the subdivision level independently. A couple of other new additions. That we now have BSP tree settings separate from the normal render settings to maximize the render quality of the hair. In addition, we can now control and animate the hair segments. If we go to the Effects tab, we can now look at the OpenGL here at the thickness. We can now control the thickness of the root independently of the tip. We can govern this through proportional settings or as an absolute hundredth of an SI unit. You can see these are mappable to weight maps and textures. In the Dynamics tab now, we have a couple of new additions. The first is controlling the root stiffness as well as the overall stiffness in the dynamic simulation, and also dampening. This will govern how quickly the hair will go back to its original style, 0 more slowly and 1 more quickly. Again, you can map these to different parameters. Going back to the General tab now, we have Allow Stretching of Hair Segments. When this is on, it turns on this button over here. Before I stretch, I'm just going to apply a symmetry map. I'll just take the default settings. Now switching to tag mode, I'm actually also going to turn on my proportional modelling. So with symmetry on, I'm now going to stretch both sides of the hair. What this is doing is actually changing the segments, and it is no longer even inside here. I can also stretch inside the hair segments like so. This means it helps me style and groom. It doesn't restrict me to one articulated dynamic motion. If I want to now fix this, I simply hit the Fix button, and now if I go back to my segments, it's put them all even again, ready to apply my dynamics. In addition, as you notice, these are really quite angular. If I go and get the geometry approximation, there is now a hair tab with different types of curve type, linear, quadratic, cubic. This means now that I can control the subdivision level of the hair independently. This means I can use less segments, which will make faster dynamics, easier combing and styling. As for the combing, if I were to take the negative z-axis, we now have the ability to recomb. You notice this is quite uniform. We can go back and just recomb, and this will take the root to tip vector of the original hair and reapply it. So I'm going to delete this. Some other additions we have is the ability to texture spline hairs. I just select this, hair from curves, and also to apply dynamic motion to these as well. So if I go and get my control objects, I think this guy's in desperate need of a comb over. We can actually apply the dynamics first and then apply the force and hit play. There we go. Absolutely perfect. For NURB surfaces, we now have per vertex emission on the guide hairs and subsurface emission.